So, hi everybody, welcome to Mindfully Austin, and I am so excited to have Lacey Melguizo. Is it Melguizo? That's how I always say you, Melguizo.
Melguizo, I kind of like that. No.
And Siri always corrects me, and I'm like, I need to ask Lacey how it's pronounced.
What does Siri say?
She says Melguizo.
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 It's almost like geese.
Melguizo.
Yeah, because, yeah.
So we'll edit that part out.
Or not.
Or not. Lacey Melguizo, but yeah, Melguizo is how I always hear it in my mind.
I love that.
So Lacey, you may have been the first or second guest that I asked to interview on this. Lacey does so many wonderful things, and the thing that I'm most excited about is how creative she is and how skilled she is at branding. There's so many wonderful branding photographers out there and brand creators, and what I really love about how Lacey does it is that she guides people through it in such a mindful way. When I was getting my first branding session with her, I didn't really know what direction I wanted. I knew certain things I wanted, but I didn't know others, and she would guide me through meditations and help me visualize and help the answer come to me. Like, what did my business want? What colors did I want to evoke? Even though I love purple, she knew purple had to be in there.
It had to. There's no doubt about that.
It was just really cool, and she made me feel so seen. She really saw the true me and helped me embrace that and bring it out in front of the camera. The first time I met Lacey was, I don't even know how many years ago, a long time ago.
It was at Sharon's birthday party.
Sharon's birthday party, but I don't remember what year. It might have been 10 years ago, 7 to 10 years ago. And Lacey is highly intuitive and has always had special abilities, and she was doing some readings at that time, and it was really cool. So that's how we initially connected. And
we had like a spiritual connection.
We had such a spiritual connection, and she's just blossomed. Her work is absolutely amazing. She's been a photographer for our real estate events, and I just loved her social media presence. I mean, you're just fabulous in everything that you do. So thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you for being here.
Well, I have to speak to the fact that when you asked to interview me, I was taking my Salah, like I like to call it, my holy pause.
Yeah.
It's like an intermission of my midlife. We're gonna take a break between Act 1 and Act 2.
Can we all do this, please? I'll see you in Italy.
It kind of worked out because I was transitioning out of working in the schools, doing the mindfulness work that I had done for so long. It was after the pandemic, everything had shifted. And you had asked me to do that, and I was like, no, I'm not in a space to be able to share or anything. But during that time, you asked me to do your branding. I think someone saw your stuff online and was like, oh my gosh.
I know, Sammy asked who did my branding.
Yeah.
And I connected you with her.
Yeah, and I had told myself I wasn't going to work at all. But I was committed to doing the artist way every single morning as a way to kind of, actually I had like burnout, if we're going to be real. Like I was totally burnt out. Like, this moment to stop and pause and be and not work. And so in my brain, I was like, no, I'm not supposed to work. But then when Hannah called me, I was like, I had this feeling, this like intuitive feeling of like, oh, like maybe this is a yes. And that was the beginning of me being able to trust my embodied understanding of what intuition is like. And I was like, let me look at her social media page. And I immediately was like, this woman is pure joy and I would love to work with her. And then it was this domino effect of like feeling into that full bodied yes. So I have to thank you for helping me to see that this is something that I absolutely love doing, because had you not invited me to do that for you, I wouldn't have gotten into the nitty gritty of the creative work to see how much joy it brought me.
Right.
So,
I remember that phone call. Lacey, I know you're taking your sabbatical right now. Would you maybe just consider one branding shoot?
Yeah.
Someone I really think you'd like and click with.
Yeah. And she's awesome.
Okay, I'll consider it. And then she also did our team branding, which was so much fun.
So fun.
Such a great day.
Yeah.
Tell me how did this come about? When did you start to discover that you had this gift for helping people with their branding?
That's a good question. Well, it started as I fell in love with photography when Ari was born, my daughter, and she's 16 now. And that kind of evolved into doing weddings and doing family portraits and all kinds of things. And I fell in love with photography. I just was like, oh my gosh, this is poetry without words. And I've been writing poetry since I was in 7th grade, and it just felt right. And then to be invited into these beautiful special moments, I felt so honored. You know, it's always been an honor. And it wasn't until another friend of mine was like, hey, I'm having issues with my website. I love yours. I've seen what you've done with your stuff. Can you help me? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but sure, like, I'll give it a try. We can play, like, we can try to co-create, and we can just hang out too. And it was so fun. And we had a ball, and it just kind of came naturally. And she loved her logo. She loved the colors. She loved the photo shoot we did. And then it kind of went from there. You asked me if I could do that for you, and I had shared with you that I had created this whole kind of coaching module.
Yeah.
Like value-based branding.
Yeah.
To kind of fine-tune what that looks like. And I had gone through that process myself as I was rebranding and understanding how important a brand is.
Yes.
To who you are and how you show up and how other people perceive you, and your ability to just feel confident, like, from an online space, because it's hard.
Yeah.
It can be hard. And I think without that cohesive brand, it's harder for other people to know what you do. And if people don't know what you do, then how are they going to come to you and ask you?
And I love that you, first of all, I don't know that we've ever talked about that. I've been writing poetry my whole entire life too, since teenage years. Or like 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there. I wanted to ask you about Unscripted, because I love that. And also with the branding, what I really love, like, for me, you could have seen just a real estate agent. Well, I did not want to be a real estate agent.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a real estate agent in a mindful way. I wanted to specifically do it differently. And you really heard me. You heard my vision. I wanted to do real estate, you guys, for like 15 years because I loved watching the home tours, you know, since I was a kid. Like age 9, I used to watch home tours on Saturday morning. And I loved looking at real estate. After we bought our first home in 2006, I got mad at the realtor when she shut off my emails. I was like, no, I want to keep watching the market. I followed the market for 15 years, but I was like, yeah, that'd be a fun job, but no, I don't want to do that. I don't wear blazers and cross my arms in front of my chest.
That's what Hannah said. She said, you are not going to take a picture of me in a blazer with my arms crossed, no way. I'm like, okay, yeah, I hear you.
Never. Real estate agents, that's very off-putting. Please don't do it anymore. This is a PSA. But she really heard my vision, and when she created the logo, you embody unscripted. Unscripted to me is improvisation.
Yeah.
And it's play. Improvisation is play. And when she's creating logos, she's playing, she's dreaming, she's in her creative space. It's a flow. And she had so much fun creating that logo and came up with so many wonderful ideas with layers and layers of meaning behind it. Like she truly heard what my vision was, what I really wanted, and then manifested it into a logo. It's just awesome. I just love that you have that ability and how that ties into who you are, not only as Lacey, but as the Unscripted brand that you've done. Unscripted Lend, Unscripted HeART. Just the joy of improvisation and playfulness and creativity and all that you do. Spontaneous creativity.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I loved working with you because you're multifaceted, and I find that a lot of the people that I work with are multifaceted, and it's like, how can you show who you are and all these different things? And I relate to that because my background's in dental hygiene, so I was a dental hygienist forever. And then I started doing photography, and then I got my meditation teacher training, and got my yoga certification, and I started working in the schools, and that's when Unscripted really became Unscripted. It was like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do, and I have to follow that. And I actually hired someone with my branding, because I had a vision, and seeing colors and the pictures and the look and the feel and the mood board and everything, I was like, this is a visual picture of what I've been thinking about and what I want, and I loved it, and that made me feel more comfortable to share my offerings in a very beautiful and cohesive way. Going through that process and branding all of my mindfulness stuff for the kids and for the schools was, I think, now that we're talking about it, I hadn't really connected the dots, but I think a deep seed was placed there of like, oh, this is really helpful in helping people to understand what they do and how they do it. And because most humans are multifaceted, there's so much connection around what we do and the work that we do instead of who we are.
How we be.
Like, I'm a human being, not a human doing. So branding has been really fun for me in helping people do what they do in a way that's really fun and kind of grounded in that beingness. For you, you're a musician. You're a yoga teacher. You love mindfulness and the mindful way of being, and now you're a real estate agent. Those seem three seemingly different things. It's like, how can we bring all that together in a way where it's fused and you can feel confident going out and doing what you do? And, oh, by the way, those symbols, those colors, those things that you're putting out there on social media, there's a psychology to it that attracts your ideal client.
Yeah.
That the people who are supposed to be with you are drawn to you because we did the foundational work. When you build a house, it's like you have to build out the plans, you have to lay the foundation before you can ever do anything else.
Right.
To me, that's what branding is like.
And it makes it really fun.
Yeah.
For me, all my things, I've been an optician, so you coming from dental, that's why I left.
Oh, that's right.
But we came from these, I was an optician for 14 years. And it's not that I'm jack of all trades and master of none, because sometimes I feel like, do people think that?
Yeah.
You know, because I really connect the dots. Like, there wouldn't be one without the other.
Yep.
Even though I did yoga since I was 17, and I've started studying myself and the higher self since I was about 16, 17, and music all at the same time too. I mean, those are very interwoven for me.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't have been able, once I did my yoga teacher training in 2007, I became a much better musician. And becoming a mom, even though that kind of took me away from music, actually, it took me away from music, but it brought it so much deeper for me. So me as an artist expanded.
Yes.
I wasn't able to chase the Hollywood dream so much anymore. But that wasn't really filling my soul either. It was more like torturing it.
Yeah.
So you, I think this is a perfect segue into my next question, because you kind of validated that for me. And everybody wants to feel validated in a way. Like
I didn't know that.
you embraced and validated all the facets of me instead of seeing it like, okay, how are we going to put this together? Let's just focus on one. What do you want to focus? Because I've been told that before. Okay, well, that's great, but don't merge those worlds. You do this and then you do that and you do them separately. And I'm like, oh, but that doesn't feel authentic to me, because I am all the things. And I want to work with people who know. I want people to know that about me.
Yeah.
And
that's
I'm
what
proud
makes
of
you
that.
unique and special as a real estate agent.
And I feel like I'm the real estate agent because I've had stage experience. I've been in the Hollywood music industry and the acting industry for years, so my skin is darn thick. So the real estate world and being rejected or denied, it's like, okay, next. I mean, I've gone through this before. Like, I don't.
Like a lot of resilience.
I've had to care for my father during sick time. Like, I don't really. It doesn't faze me. Like, I've had to, the real stuff. Not that this isn't real, because people's money and their home is very important. So I'm not meaning to make that sound small, but like this, I think what I'm saying is that set me up for being in this industry and where we are today.
Well, and what I remember you telling me is that the home is the foundation of everything, and you wanted to create harmony in home sales.
Yes.
And
the home, our body is the home of our soul.
Absolutely. And the fact that you put so much intention around that, and you fight for your clients, and it hit me when you were talking about being an optician. You see people clearly. Mm-hmm. And you bring people together. Mm-hmm. And you're able to help people. You're able to fit a pair of proverbial glasses so people can see things.
Oh, see? She's working magic right here.
That's how we do it.
This is a perfect segue. So my question is, how do you uplift humanity through your work? But I think you just spelled it out.
I love the catchphrases when you're doing a brand because there's something to that, like this essence of what you're doing. And for you, it was creating harmony in home sales. So you've got creating, right? So it's all about how we're creating because you are an artist. Harmony is this sense of balance, right? And taking a bunch of, but it's also taking a bunch of different things and making it work together, which is very much a skill that
harmoniously
not everybody has. Like, it's a hard one.
Right. Without dissonance. Like, you can, even in a house when things are messy, like it's like you're playing the piano, but you're smashing all the keys down at once and it sounds terrible. You know, I love when kids put their hands on pianos, but you know, you've got the little 5-year-old that'll come over and just be like, and you're like, oh, make it stop.
And
it's dissonant.
And disharmony helps you to appreciate the harmony for what it is, and then you do the energy work inside of the homes as well. Yeah. But in home sales, and it's like it's a very succinct, clear message that encapsulates everything that you're doing, not only just at the surface level, but also the deeper levels. And so for me, mine is empowering heart-centered humans to show up and be seen. And so
good.
Empowerment is such a huge theme in my life for everything that I've done in my life. So with a dental hygienist, it's empowering other people to have better health through their mouth. Through the photography, it's empowering families, you know, to come together and see the beauty of their lives. And those last for forever. So it's like their legacy. Through the mindfulness, it was empowering students and teachers to feel less stress and have tools available to them so that they could, in an easy way, find some peace within themselves in their classrooms. And so now with the branding stuff, being in front of a camera is hard. And I know for me, I hid behind a camera forever. I did not want to show up and be seen. It's still not easy for me. I have come to realize that all these different facets allow me to not only have attention to detail, but to make people feel comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And that's where I realized that is my strength.
I love that. That's so important, and that is uplifting humanity. Learning from that, and they're able to take it out into the other. Can I give you some more?
Sure.
They're able to take that out into the other areas of their life. You're a yoga teacher, or you know, you want to have somebody transform on their mat. Well, you want them to take the lessons and the teachings of yoga and what they've accomplished in that class. You want them to take that out into the world. And when I'm working with clients, I'm hoping to provide tools to manage stress. Some people are open to it, some are not, but like the tools and the exercises that I have clients do, those are things that you can use in any area of your life. When we manifest our dream home, those are things that can go a really long way, not just for that house.
And the heart-centered humans part of it was, I ended up hiring someone to help me rebrand and help me redo my website. And she was the one who helped me with that, to kind of fine-tune that messaging of like, I like working with heart-centered humans. That's who I am, and that's who I resonate with, to show up and be seen. We all deserve to be seen.
That's what Mindfully Austin is all about.
Yeah.
Like, I want to inspire and share and uplift those that are out there doing positive things in the world.
Yeah, and like making a difference.
Yeah.
Of course we did that. I think, and also, I love you, Anna. I feel like in today's world, as a business owner, you have to have an online presence and you have to have photos. And people are going to be connected to you if they trust you, if they can see your face, if they feel like you're offering them something. And so that's why personal branding is so important, because I will help guide and hold your hand through the whole thing to feel that clear, concise messaging that feels so authentic to who you are that you can't wait to show with everybody.
Yeah, I love that. And that's your why too. It's like all of it's all wrapped up.
Yes, because I love seeing people rise. I love seeing people shine. I love people being seen and feeling confident to then do something like social media, where I've heard so many of my clients like, I hate this part of it. I hate it. And it's like, okay, cool. What do you hate about it? How can we shift that by giving you all these tools and all these photos and all this coloring and all the fun stuff, and make this actually like a creative process that you're doing, and change your mindset around it. Like, oh, you're not just doing social media because you have to. You're looking at all this gorgeous branding, and you're looking at all this imagery, and you're looking at the story. It's literally a story, because I'm a storyteller, that you get to then put out. And that's what's so fun about it.
I feel like that was a little webinar for me, a little workshop, because I have so many wonderful videos, but I use them, like, I use a couple of them over and over again for the same thing instead of like all of them.
Yeah.
Instead of incorporating them and sitting down, and I have an intention of sitting down every Friday. Heather and I talk about having Fun Friday, going to a coffee shop, getting our work done, and then scheduling our posts for the week.
Yeah. Oh, I just had another idea.
Not once has that happened, but
I'm an idea generator,
Yeah,
by the
I love
way.
it.
Like, I'm like, oh, look, there's a butterfly. Oh,
Yeah.
look. And not all my ideas stick, but like, I always have to voice them because the ones that are supposed to stick will.
Yeah.
How fun would it be with the community to bring together a day where we all do social media together, where we organize our posts, help do like a format and a guideline, and then it's
Love
like
that.
everybody's working together. That would be fun.
When's our Coffee and Connections? That's the day we should do it.
If you think that that's a good idea, like and subscribe
And share.
and share this and let us know in the comments down below that you would want that.
That's a great idea. We do meet once a month, so whoever our featured guest is, we have a Coffee and Connections gathering, and we also serve tea. We're tea drinkers. This is tea.
I like coffee too.
Yeah, we meet, and when we do the Coffee and Connections, we always start with a little grounding meditation so that people don't feel nervous when they're sharing, and then we go around in a circle, and based on our speakers, what they talked about and what their why is, their vision, we'll come up with a question that's a great conversation starter, and then we'll go around and everybody will answer that question, and then there's a Q&A for the speaker. So maybe it'll be on branding, or
Yeah.
maybe this one will be on just empowerment
Yeah.
and showing up in the world as your most empowered self. Tell me, how long have you lived in Austin, and are you from Austin originally?
I am a native Texan. I say y'all,
Mhm.
and I love it. And sometimes my kids make fun of me as they say I start to sound like I got an accent. I grew up in Katy, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston. And
Megan's from Katy.
I know.
Oh, you guys knew that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we connected that dot. But my husband and I moved to Austin back in, I mean, it's been almost 20 years now. So right after we got married, we came up for a weekend. His sister lived here, his friends lived here, and we were like, oh my gosh, we love this. And then the hurricane came in Houston, and we were like, well, we need to get out.
Oh.
And so we just packed up our stuff. We just made it happen. We were unscripted. Austin has been such a good place for us,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I love
And
that.
I've met wonderful people like you.
Yeah. I have another question, just because we like to throw this in there. When you do meet up with clients or work, is there a favorite local coffee shop or tea place that you go to?
So I live a little more north, and there's a little coffee called Illuminate
Mm-hmm.
Coffee.
Is that the one off of 620?
Yes.
Like near Anderson Mill?
Yeah, it used to be called something else.
Like Yo-Yo Coffee or Ya-Ya Coffee?
something. I don't remember what it was.
Yoli?
But yeah, I like Illuminate. I like to meet there because it's very like locally owned and it's cute and it just feels like you're kind of going into someone's home.
Yeah,
Which I like.
I want to go there.
I like those kind of spaces.
I have another question for you.
Okay.
And you already gave us so many good tips and pointers, but if somebody else were wanting to get into photography or branding or meditation teaching
Or dental hygiene, no.
or dental, not dental hygiene, that's very well planned out already. Yeah, if they were to do something like that as an entrepreneur, that's the healing and creative arts, you know,
Yeah.
how do you make a living like that? Like what's a good tip that you could give, a tip or two that you could give to anybody that's watching that might be interested in that?
That is a very good question. And I would say to follow your joy, number one,
Mm-hmm.
because that's creative life. And don't expect to make a living from it right away, but definitely do things daily that are adding to whatever it is that you're wanting to create.
Mm.
I know a lot of creative people aren't necessarily good at business, which yeah, it's taken me a long time to like figure that part of it out. But I think hiring other people to help you, a coach, or having someone walk you through who your ideal client is, what your mission, your vision, your values, like all that kind of stuff, to form that foundation is a really good idea because it helps you to learn, read books, figure out different ways to market yourself and to show up and then just keep showing up.
Just call Lacey, because that's what makes you special, is that instead of it just being, these are beautiful photographs, there's so many amazing photographers out there and they take beautiful photographs. And it's so much more with you than just beautiful photographs, which you get. It is those steps.
I appreciate that.
It is those steps in helping people identify their values and their mission statement and their ideal client, and even thinking about colors. I hadn't thought about that before. When I looked at my old Instagram stuff, I was like, ooh, it is kind of hodgepodgey. It's kind of all over the place. But when you have cohesive colors, then it's fun. I mean, now look at me. I have a purple car. I'm wearing a purple shirt. Purple is everywhere.
She even has purple lights when you drive up to her house.
I mean, I was already a purple person, but it just kind of gave me more reason to be like, well, I'm so on brand. Oh, well, this is so good. Like, what a fun interview this has been. I feel like we just sort of rode a roller coaster and went around and, like, you know, made figure eights around the topic, and it all cohesively came back around to empowering people and helping them find their joy and their truth and sharing that with the world. And you're so good at that. I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you. I'm grateful for you too.
Yay.
Cheers to doing fun things with lots of wonderful people.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe and share and all the things. We're very grassroots. This is our mission for Austin. We really want everybody in Austin to be subscribers so that we can share more and more fabulous people doing wonderful, uplifting things on our channel. And uplifting things in the world.
I love how you have created, as a passion project, Mindfully Austin, as a way to connect people with other people who are trying to uplift humanity. I think that's just such a beautiful use of time, of social media, of being online, and another way to help other people be seen.
Yeah.
And empower people to be seen, because you're showing them to other people. I know for me, before I got into all this, I would look at other people who were doing what I wanted to do, and they inspired me, and I thought, if they can do it, then I can do it. When we do show up and be seen, and we are able to share our message, we don't know how many lives we touch because we're inspiring other people.
It's so true. And just a reminder that you don't have to live in a box. I'm a real estate agent. That's part of what I do. And also I love uplifting people. And real estate agents need to make connections. They need to connect with people. Yeah. My mission in real estate is to uplift humanity through my work. So what better way than to connect with other people who want to uplift humanity through their work, and hopefully have them as clients, because that's an ideal client. That's an ideal real estate transaction. The transactions that I've been in where my client has that intention for the transaction, you guys, wow. I mean, it's like fairy dust and angels around the transaction where everything is truly harmonious.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference when you set that intention. So you can do this in any business. Like I love that you brought in your intentions in dental hygiene and how wonderful that is about health and wellness through the mouth. I mean, so cool. Anybody can do this in any field. Yeah. If you want to talk more about it, come to our event or drop us a message, and we can't wait to connect more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.